Today I thought I'd walk you down my Flagstone path to help you decide whether you like Scotch moss to grow between or baby's tears. So I planted Scotch moss first, and this is probably about 2 years later. It's survived pretty well, but it doesn't meet each other in the middle very quickly, as you can see. It just kind of grows outward on the rocks for the most part. I haven't tried trimming the edges back yet and planting them, but I'm going to do that next. This is my favorite area of Scotch moss. It's growing pretty well. It's July, end of July, and it's been in the 90s quite a bit lately, pretty dry heat. This is doing pretty well still. It's got a lot of dry grass blown into it from mowing, and it does catch in there pretty good. So that's one note. And this is my least favorite area of Scotch moss. It's kind of growing wild and thick on the sides, and I'm going to cut that back and replant it. I'll try to show you what that looks like later. And this is my favorite area of the baby's tears, and I like them because they're growing towards each other and they're filling the crack without so much filling the rock. I also like that they're very limey in color. Like, I like the color of green. At one point I wondered whether I should plant Scotch moss and baby's tears side by side. I thought they might not mesh well, but I went ahead and tried it. And this is the difference side by side. Here's another example of that. And this is a pretty shady area. This, on the other hand, is a pretty sunny area. And the baby's tears that I planted didn't do so well, but sometimes they will come back later, so I'm going to leave them in place for now. Here's another area where it's pretty sunny, and the baby's tears don't look so great, but they still look pretty good, better than I thought, actually. Okay, this is a pretty shady area, and the baby's tears have gone crazy over here. They love it, and there are a couple areas where they didn't do so well, like there. But I've had baby's tears before at my old house, and they have died back that way in the summertime and thrive in the spring. So I'm going to leave them there and see what happens in the springtime. But baby's tears are soft and lush here, and I love them. My neighbor used to complain about slugs with them, so that's something you might want to keep in mind. I guess the last point I want to make is that the Scotch moss take much longer to grow along the cracks than the baby's tears, and I don't think they're as pretty, so I'm going to go ahead and continue to put baby's tears as often as possible. There might be a reason to use the sunny spots for Scotch moss if the baby's tears don't do well, so we'll see how that goes. I hope that helps you decide what to use between your flagstone. These limey spots are the baby's tears, and the darker areas are the Scotch moss, so maybe you prefer otherwise, but I really like the baby's tears, and I'm going to try to put my focus there.